Well, welcome back into the Norfolk garden here in East Anglia in the United Kingdom. This is the first video we're shooting this year, and we've come out on a dry, relatively warm day for January. We've got 9 or 10 degrees here this afternoon. Light's not going to last that much longer. Short days at this time of year mean if you are going to come out and do some gardening, you've got to take your opportunities mid-afternoon when things have dried off a little bit. And one of the jobs I've got on for today, if I get a chance, I'm not going to finish it, but I'm going to make a start, here comes some help, is cutting back and tidying up this border, which is absolutely full of bulbs, and it's not much later in the season that these are going to do their thing. So we've left this incredibly late this year, distracted by other jobs. But you can see here, look, already some clumps of the narcissi starting to break through. And I'm going to have to be careful where I tread on this, because ideally I would have done this in November or December. But one advantage of doing it at this time of the year is a lot of the thatch from the old herbaceous plants has, with the frost and over winter, become very soft and just pulls away. So I'm literally not having to cut very much away from here at all. Just tidying it up, pulling everything off, clearing away all the old material. These two are absolutely fascinated as soon as you start working anywhere. But you can see at the back of here, where we haven't got during the earlier part of the year, we've got a lot of perennial weed to work through. And it's really tricky to work that in this area of this border, because we've got buddleias, Rosa rugosa, which is running all the way forward. You can see some of the shoots coming through that have just, from root runners, worked their way right into the front of the borders. And I'm going to try digging as many of those out as I can, because I really don't want this border to become a complete rose thicket. It's bad enough during the season with some of these perennial daisies filling this border up. They were very spectacular last year after looking as if they weren't going to do anything. You can see how they've worked their way right to the front of the border and really overtaken almost everything else that was planted in here. So real good opportunity to try and pull a lot of this out as it's coming up. And I think later in the season, when this starts emerging from its winter hibernation, we will be pulling back, particularly around clumps of more precious and what I say precious but different herbaceous. We've got some variety in here, because this is part of the problem with these type of borders where they've been established now. This one's been in for around 10 years, and the things that are really vigorous start to overtake and swamp the less vigorous things that you may still want to be growing in this border rather than just letting it go. We've got some lovely daylilies. Just look, this time of year you can see these starting to emerge from the clumps. If these are overcrowded, again, it's an ideal time of year to lift these, divide them and replant in fresh soil with a little bit of compost. But for today, my main project is just to continue pulling back on this border and tidy up all the old thatch, getting it into the wheelbarrows and down into the compost heaps. And I think the light's probably going to get the better of me, but we'll come back and show you the progress on this border over the next couple of days. And hopefully over the course of a weekend, even a long big border like this, we can get looking tidy. We've got some fresh tulip bulbs that we want to get into here. And again, the opportunities doing it at this time of year, I know it's late to be planting tulips, but you can see where the other bulbs are coming up, and that gives you the advantage of not digging through into clumps of bulbs just under the surface that you can't remember exactly where they are. So gather my friends, crack on with this border and see how much work we get done today. Thanks for watching.